Hey guys, it's Zhang, and today we are going to be making peanut butter cookies. One with 5 ingredients and one with 10 ingredients. One's healthy and one's indulgent, and we're going to see how they compare. Alright, so we are going to start off with the guilty pleasure. I'm going to do the classic regular peanut butter cookies. I'm going to start by mixing my dry ingredients. Here I'm using some all-purpose flour. I'm just going to add it to a bowl. And then I'm going to be using both baking powder and baking soda, just because the peanut butter tends to make the cookies a little dense, so we just kind of want to lighten things up. And if you guys want the full recipe, it'll be listed out in the description box below. Then I'm going to add a little bit of salt to balance the sweetness, and we'll just give it a mix. Alright, we are done with the dry ingredients, so now I'm going to work on the wet ingredients. Alright, so for the wet ingredients, I'm going to start by creaming the butter and sugars first. I just have a stick of butter here that's room temperature to make it really easy to work with. Add it into the bowl. And then I'm using a combination of white granulated sugar and brown sugar. This way, the cookie will have that crispiness on the outside and soft chewiness on the inside. Just go ahead and cream it with a hand blender for about 2 minutes until it's nice and fluffy. All right, this looks great. Let's go ahead and scrape the bowl down with our spatula. Now I'll add my egg, some vanilla extract, and our peanut butter. So for the peanut butter, I'm using a natural one, a natural creamy one, like this, and you'll notice that this one kind of separated, but that's totally fine. I usually try to look for ones with just salt and peanuts. So this one from Costco is actually one of my favorites. This one or the Trader Joe's one. And I'm just gonna use a cup of it, and we'll give it one more mix. Now I'll just dump in the flour mixture and just add the whole thing in at once. We'll give it a final mix at low speed. And that is our cookie batter. Just go ahead and scrape the dough back together. It'll look kind of crumbly right here, but once you scoop it out onto the baking pan, it'll stick together and become a nice cohesive cookie dough. All right, so I'm just gonna be using a cookie scoop to just scoop the dough out, make sure it's nice and packed in, and I'll just scoop it onto a baking sheet that I've already lined with parchment paper. And just like your typical peanut butter cookie, I'm gonna take my fork, flatten it, and do that cross hatch action. All right, now let's work on our healthy cookies. This peanut butter cookie recipe only uses 5 ingredients. Yes, that's right, 5 ingredients. So I only need 1 bowl for this cookie. First, I'm gonna add our peanut butter. I have a cup of the same creamy peanut butter here. And then to sweeten it up, I'm gonna use maple syrup. I'm kind of cheating here because this maple syrup is already infused with cinnamon and vanilla. So I'm not gonna add any extra vanilla or cinnamon to it. But if you wanted to, you can always add a teaspoon of vanilla extract to your maple syrup. So I'm gonna add half a cup, a little bit of salt, give it a good mix. Almond flour and baking powder to lighten it up a smidge. And just mix everything together. So just in comparison to our other dough, this one is a lot smoother looking, and I feel like it's gonna ball up a lot easier too. Okay, let's go ahead and put it on our cookie sheet. And in case you guys were wondering, will this work with regular flour? Yes, it would, but in keeping with the healthy theme, I decided to use almond flour. Same thing, we'll flatten it and give it that cross hatch action. Now we're gonna bake them both off at the same time to see how much they differ. This is the tale of 2 cookies. One made with 5 ingredients and the other with 10. One's healthy and the other one, not so much. Both are delicious, but can you really tell which is which? But look how similar they look despite the difference of ingredients used. So I will have to say that the healthier one qualifies as healthy because number 1, we're using fewer ingredients, so there's less calories. But number 2, there's less refined sugar in there, and there's healthier fats with the almond flour and the peanut butter, so it'll keep you satiated much longer than the straight up indulgent treat. So let's go ahead and give them a taste test. That is good. There's a nice crispiness on the outside, and the inside is just light and peanut buttery. It's sweet, but not too sweet. And it's just a really good peanut butter cookie. Got my milk, our palate cleanser. Let's try this one. Definitely a little more sticky than this one. And I'm sure you guys have guessed by now which one's which, but this one is a lot more creamy. You get that more pronounced peanut butter texture. Overall, it's very balanced. It's not too sweet. You get a little bit of the texture from the almond flour, and it's just really good. You don't get that same crispiness on the outside and softness in the inside, because all around it's pretty soft, but on the exterior, I wouldn't say it's crispy, but it's still really good. In terms of weight, this one feels a lot more dense than this one. We did use 2 types of leavening agent in this versus this one. And the only reason why we used 2 is because there was so much ingredients like the eggs, the flour. It could be really dense, but this one only needed a little bit. And because there's no acid in this one, the baking soda would not react. If you guys are looking for a way to curb that sweet tooth just as I am, definitely give this peanut butter cookie version a try. It definitely helps with mine. It satisfies and it keeps me full, and this one is just straight up good. Let me know if you guys want to see more healthy versus indulgent recipes in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button because it'll really help the video out. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Which one's better?
That one.